So we have discussed about various type of number systems. Anyway, so ultimately computer works on mainly on your binary number system. So mostly in our purpose we will deal with binary number system and decimal number system frequently, because decimal number system is used by us and the binary number system used by the computer. So now we will jump to a different topic with respect to programming language. That is, last day we have discussed about uh, enormous importance of the memory of a computer system. The reason is that when we execute a program, a set of instructions, there are certain things that program has to remember for some time, maybe, or maybe permanently. So if the program has to remember something, say temporarily, then there must have some storage where the variable, where the value can get stored. So assume that we have a program, something assume that this is our program file. Okay, some program is written over here. You have written your program, and this program is basically, you know, doing some additions. And before adding, before proceeding for the addition instruction, the data must get stored in some memory location, right? So this is my memory address, suppose. So this is my memory, and you see the memory address is represented in some, what obvious we have just discussed, in hexadecimal form. Okay, now as a programmer, when you are writing a program and you need the data, for example data say 10 and 20 get stored over here, and what you want to add these two values. That means somehow you have to take this value from the memory to the program somehow. If you want to do this, you have to know the exact address of this particular two memory location. The what is, you can say, physical address. But problem is that this physical address are very long and they are hexadecimal address. So as a programmer point of view, it is not possible to remember on or work with the exact physical address through programming. That is why we take help of something which technically we call variable. So what is variable? You can say that a storage whose value can vary. That is variable. And this variable is basically in a program identified by a very simple English word or maybe a character. Say for example A is a variable name, B can be a variable name, sum can be a variable name, and so on. Now working with this physical address, actually working with these variable names is much easier than working with this physical address from the programmer point of view, right? So somehow we have to be habituated using the variable for the programming. So now if you want to store say value 10 over here, what actually we write in our program? We write a equal to 10. Now what is this a? This a is a nickname given by me that is representing the same location over here. Now question is that who is doing this mapping? Mapping between the variable name and the corresponding exact physical address in the memory. This mapping is basically done, what you can say, by the compiler. This compiler concept I have just seen in the previous class. You see this one. Okay. So there is a huge job of a compiler present within a computer. Now naturally, we will one by one will explore various parts of that. So anyway, so that is the understanding compiler is not part of job for this particular semester. So just try to just memorize or try to realize this point. But problem is that the value that I have written over here, this is what we call a data. Now this data can be of different type. Different type in the sense, you can say a data can be a value, a data can be in various form. Maybe it is 10 or can be 7.52. It is also something, some data. Even it can be a data, only A can be a data. Say X, Y, Z can be as a whole can be a data. So you see data can be of various types and they are actually of different form. So naturally compiler is a, you can imagine in this way that compiler is a machine which does this mapping, fine. The problem is that when you do the mapping, you have to say that what type of data you are going to store in the physical memory. Is it form of this 10 or a form of something like this or in a form of something like this or maybe something like this and so on, many way, right? Now what type of data you are going to store in the memory location, that is actually expressed in a form of what the technically what we call data type. What is data type? Data type defines the type of data that is going to be stored, going to be stored in a particular location. Say for example this one or maybe this one. So that means when you will declare that you want to use a variable name of something like A or B or C, some variable name, You don't need, you not only have to show, not only have to declare the variable name only, but also you have to declare what type of data you are going to store. That is, you have to declare the corresponding data type of the variable. Now, naturally question will come that how I can do this, right? So let's try to realize first that what are the different type of data and their corresponding data types present in the, in at least in C language. So data type actually can be defined in two ways. Okay, a data type is actually can be of two type. One is called primitive data type, and one is called derived data type. Okay, this primitive data type have various data types. Among various data types, we will discuss about three most important data types for this moment. One is called int, float, and char. And this derived data type we will discuss about maybe in some other classes. Now, what is this int, float, and char? For example, as I told you, if I consider there is a variable a, this a can be equal to say 10. What is 10? This is an integer. Even there is one possibility, a can be equal to, say for example, a single value x. What is this x? X is a character. There is one more possibility that a can be equal to 7.4132, something like this. What is this? It can be, I can say it's a decimal value. Depends on these three different situation, actually these three data type came. The int data type say that it can store an integer type of data or something like this. So that means the data type that is required to store this type of data require int data type. Float data type say that I want to store a value having a decimal, which is a decimal. That means to store this type of value, if I want to declare a variable that can store this type of value, the corresponding data type of the variable a must be float. Similarly, if I want to store a single character or single letter in a particular variable, you have to declare the variable, the data type of the variable as char, because you are going to store a single character. Now question will come that what happens when we store, I mean, first of all, how we write and what happens. You see, first of all, the writing style of declaring a variable, declare a variable style. Sorry, or style is actually wrong word. You should write syntax. Actually, that's the rule that you have to follow when you are writing a C language. Declare a variable how? First, I am writing a general form, then I will write a special situation. The general form of writing, I am declaring a variable is something like data type name. Okay, then the variable name, then semicolon. And if you want to store something within the variable, you have to write variable name equal to the data, then again a semicolon. Remember, the semicolon is must in every line of C language. Every line is actually wrong statement, but for time being, you just keep this mind that in most of the line you must have this semicolon. There are some lines which doesn't accept semicolon, that we will discuss when the situation comes. So let's go for an example. So for example, if I assume that I have a variable name, say A, which is going to store a value 10, then in that case you should write this one as int A semicolon, and this one you should write as A equal to 10 semicolon. So this is all about storing an integer value. If you consider the same situation for storing, say, a decimal value, I can rewrite this sentence something like, instead of int, in that case I will have float. Float A equal to 2.53, suppose, semicolon. I'm sorry. Yes, you can write it. Actually, this is also a way, but just for time being, since you are beginner, I am not writing it in this way. So we will show it very soon. Float A, and this one we can write as A equal to 2.53. So in this way, for other data types also you can follow the similar type of logic. Now question is that, what is the value, if this is a value I can store, I know that if you no, can I store a negative value? I mean, if I write that A equal to -10, is it correct? If this is correct, then where it ends? I mean, if you take, say, all integer values, you will say it's 0, and in this side I have plus infinity, and in this side I have minus infinity. Right? The question is that, what is the maximum value that I can store in this variable A? In a similar way, what is the minimum value that I can store in A? For example, suppose that we have some value over here, that is n is the value, and we have some value over here, that is m, I mean, it's actually minus n, it's plus n, right? And suppose the value that I can store within A lies within this limit minus n to plus n. So this one is actually what we call range of the variable, or also you can say range of the data type. Now this range is not obviously coming, arbitrarily. What is the range of a particular variable or maybe particular data type obviously depends on some equation, depends on some situation, right? So we will try to realize this different range, we will actually uh, derive the range of variable, I mean various data types in the next class.